I'm David Gant, your Buncombe County Chairman. I'd like to invite you to the September 1, 2009 meeting of the Buncombe County Commissioners and talk to you a little bit about what's going to be on the agenda. There are three main items that are on there. The first thing I want to talk about is the safety tower or elevator for the outside of the courthouse. It's going to cost $2.5 million, and some of you would go, oh my gosh, how can you pay that kind of money in these bad times where I can barely rub two nickels together? We have a long-range plan to fix the courthouse. We've committed that the courthouse that served us so well for over 70 years ought to remain a courthouse. Toward that end, we have moved the county commissioners out of the courthouse into a different facility. And that was something we did with a lot of heavy hearts, with a lot of thought and prayer about, because we know that's different than the tradition has been. But the courthouse is the courthouse for court facilities. The only way that we can continue to use all of the courthouse is to have an additional safety tower or elevator. And we call it a safety tower because not only does it have the elevator itself, but it also has different facilities for the firemen, for the firewomen that take care of our facility. And so it's not just a simple matter of putting an elevator in there. You have to do a lot more. Because we're doing this, we will be able to maximize the use of this courthouse for another 20 or 30 years. We looked at buying a new courthouse or starting a new courthouse, but I think the wise decision our commission has already made is that we're going to keep this one that is so historic and so beautiful in service as long as we can. It's great to go out and build a new facility, and I know there was a push to do this years ago, but I think it's easier to build a new government facility and try to consolidate all that instead of split it up between the courthouse and the government facility. So that's what we're going to do. I think that the safety tower is the way to go, and it's required by the law. We have to have access to avoid the tragedies that happened in Mitchell County where they didn't have an elevator and people were burned alive. It's that stark. And if we're going to use the top floors, we have to have good access out. So this is a second access. The whole project is going to be $65 million. Of course, we can't do all that now, but this is an important part of it to keep the courthouse going and comply with state and federal law. The second thing we're going to talk about in detail is we have information now about landslides and floods. All that information is going to be forwarded to our planning board to see and get recommendations about what we need to do with these. I think part of it's going to be wrapped up in zoning. We have to look and think about areas of environmental sensitivity. If it's landslide or flood prone, we have an obligation, I believe, to tell people about it. And I don't think it should be let the buyer beware. And I remember maybe 20 years ago I represented an individual in Henderson County. Their house literally fell down the mountain. And people just buying an investment, they shouldn't have to worry about whether the government's looked after them and passed along information that we have. And now that we know where these areas are, I think we have to work that into our land use and zoning laws. So the planning board's going to get referred. Finally, we're going to select a new county attorney. I can't tell you who that is at this point, but we have had a closed session to discuss it, and we are planning on announcing who that will be on Tuesday, and we will have the individual with us for a press conference after our meeting. We thought long and hard about who would be the best county attorney, and I think the individual that we have tentatively selected is going to be someone that will serve us well. So we're looking forward to introducing that person on Tuesday night. That's what we have on the agenda right now. If you have any questions about any of this, please call me. I'll try to answer your questions. And as always, I appreciate you supporting our commission, telling us when we're doing good, telling us when we're doing bad, because we need to know all this. And I hope that you can come to the meeting. If not, they will be shown almost fairly regularly on the TV channel 2 on the cable. And thanks for listening. It's my pleasure to be your chairman.